Hey guys, Candace Daly here from CLD Art Studio and Blog. Thought I would hop on here today and show you all how to make a bow using wired ribbon. And this is just going to be kind of quick to show you all how to do this. And I'm kind of hoping that I have time to show you all within another video on how to make a bow embellishment for your holiday outfits. But first I wanted to show you all how to do a bow using wired ribbon. And this ribbon is from Walmart years ago. This is some of my mama's that she bought probably back in the 90s. They don't, obviously the packaging looks completely different at Walmart now, so I'm using vintage ribbon. My mama was a home interior displayer for years. And so I constantly saw her making bows for wreaths and flower arrangements. So she has completely inspired me by doing what I do now, crafting and design and decorating my home. So she's truly inspired me. So she did home interior for years and was very dedicated to it. So it actually inspired me to take a floral design class when I went to Central Hardin. And that's where I really learned how to make bows using wired ribbon. And so really, ideally, when you are making bows, you really do want to use the wired kind. But I have used it before where it wasn't wired, and it does make it more difficult to make. So try to get you some where it does have the wire. You can see that one kind of sticking up. And it just makes it more pliable, more flexible for you. So what we'll fasten ours with today is either some wire like this. You can get it in, if you can see it still very well, you can maybe see it better now. In the hardware department, craft department, you can get it different widths and thicknesses. You can also secure with pipe cleaners as well because they're wire and they're just embellished with the little sparkle stuff on it. So, first of all, when you're bow making, you are going to make a loop. This is going to be like your midpoint. Okay, so there's your first loop that you're going to make. Leave enough within inside of your loop because this is going to help you fasten it later. Okay, and you want to have some of that extra fabric. For time purposes, I'm just going to show you how to do a few loops, and then that way I don't take up so much time with doing this. You'll get it once you start doing it, and it's very repetitive. So this is just kind of a foundation of how to make it. Typically, ribbon has like an embellished side and then like a dull side. This side is the same on both, but typically when you buy a ribbon, it's not going to be the same on both sides. So you'll make your loop. Then if you had the typical ribbon where it's dull on one side, you always usually end up twisting it on that back side. So then that way when you bring your next loop to the front like this, you're going to have your pretty side showing. Okay? So you all can see that. And what's hard about bow making is you have to constantly switch hands, and it's very, very hard. It's very, very time consuming. But once you get the hang of it, it's really, really fun to see how they form and come together. Okay, so here's my back side. Constantly switching hands, you'll see. Okay, so then say for instance I have that typical ribbon, I'm going to have to twist it and then bring my pretty side to the front. And it's kind of important to also eyeball and figure out, you know, you want your loops to be the same on each side. There's my back side. Okay, and there's my two loops. See, I try to make them even on both sides. Alright. Twist. Back side. Bring your loop forward. I'll do that again. There's my back side. I twisted already. Then bring your loop forward. Okay. I may have made that one a little too long. Looks a little awkward lengthwise up against the other one. And you can play with these too. It's very pliable once you use your wire. Okay. There's my back side of my ribbon. I'm going to twist, bring the pretty side to the front. Now, if you don't have the typical ribbon, you don't have to worry about twisting, and that makes it even better. Okay. And like I said, like with this one piece right here that's kind of not tucked, you can just kind of play with it as you go. Okay. Alright. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and secure it. I've got 2 loops on each side. So, and I'm just going to secure it with the silver. I would typically do it with gold, but my gold one kind of got messed up a few minutes ago. So I'm going to put this pipe cleaner in my loop that I first made, stick it in there, bring it to the back side. Okay, I'm bringing it to the back side, bringing the other side over, really, you know, pinching it together, pinching it, and then twisting. Twist, twist, twist. Okay, so you'll see that your back side is just twisted. And then what's great about this is if, you know, you feel like you need to kind of mold some stuff and make it look a little bit better, you can do that. Okay. And the more loops that you make, the fuller it looks. Okay. This is just like a little simple one to show you all today. And if you do want to do tails on this, what I typically do is, you can either cut this one like this, cut it like that, and then cut your ribbon down in half like that. Sometimes it will fray your ribbon to do it that way though. So typically I'll cut one portion off and leave this in the middle, okay? And then I'll have some existing ribbon left, and I always cut it, and excuse the tape at the bottom, I always cut it a little bit longer than what I want, because what you're going to have to end up doing, and make sure your pretty side is showing, I tuck it underneath this first loop that we made together. I tuck it, and this is for my second tail. So I tuck it, and then I wrap it on the back side like that, and you can also hot glue this too. Okay, I tuck it, and then my pipe cleaners, I go back through my loop at the front that we just did. Now bring it back around to the back. Okay, so I brought it through, I wrapped it over, went through the loop at the front, brought it at the back, and then I've got existing left, and then I just kind of secure it like this. Okay, and what's great about pipe cleaners is if you feel like it's not long enough, you can always attach more together by just twisting them around one another to make your pipe cleaners longer. So then there is your second tail, okay? And then that way you've got like your filler in the middle of it, and it doesn't look so lonely looking in the middle, okay? So there's your bow, and like I said, you just have to kind of like play around with it, get it the way you want it, and the more loops you make, the prettier your bows are. I mean, they really, really are. And you see how I'm just kind of sculpting this one as I go, and trying to just make it like look more pleasing to the eye. See, there you go. That looks a little bit better now. So that's basically how you do it. And I just attached everything at the back like that. It's not as pretty in the back because it is in the front, obviously. But just really securing everything using that first loop. Okay, even your little tails that you may use in the middle. Okay, and then you'll just cut, you know, to how you want it. And I always typically cut at like an angle. So there you go. That's how you do a bow using wired ribbon. Okay. It was fun today knowing that I used my Mama Nellie's ribbon to make this. So, but like I was saying about extending your pipe cleaners and making them bigger, if say you were like, oh no, I wrapped that around and then I ran out of pipe cleaner. If you need to extend your pipe cleaner, literally all you do is make like a cross, like this, or an X, and twist. And then you can extend your pipe cleaner, okay? Extend it like that. It makes it so easy, and you can make it longer, and then that way if you need to do that, the same with like wire as well. Just make that little X and you will be good to go on extending your ribbon or extending your pipe cleaner. So there you go. That's how you do your ribbon. And then I always leave the pipe cleaner sticking out at the back because I attach it to my wreaths or whatever, or if you're putting it on a package. Okay? Here was one I made with like a mint ribbon. This is one that's on my shutters that go on my mantle. It's wired as well. It's a little bit smaller. See, the more loops you make, the fuller, and then just make your loops progressively bigger as you make each new loop coming out from the center. Another thing I was going to show you all how to make a bow using pipe cleaners. I made tons of these for our wedding, and they're so cute. They're just really dainty little bows, and I do it using pipe cleaners. And I showed the kids at school this the other day, and they just loved it. So what you do, and especially if you're wanting to make like a bigger one, you will have to attach them together. But if you want to make like smaller ones, you literally just make like a little loop like this. Loop. Wrap it over like that. Okay? Just wrap it. Come back and make your next loop like that. It's not secure or anything yet, so it's just laying right there. And then I take my existing, what's right here, and I loop it back over to secure it. And there's you a little bow for anything like cards or presents. We made a lot of these to go on our hot cocoa bar that we had at our wedding on the labels. So I made tons of those, and they're just a cute little embellishment. Okay, and then you would cut it off and make it even. So it's really just a lot of like wrapping. Okay. Now, if you wanted to make a bow on a bigger scale, like I said, you're going to attach your pipe cleaners like this together. Okay. So now you've got a long pipe cleaner. And then you can obviously make your loops a little bit bigger now. It's basically just a lot of sculpting. Okay, so there's your first loop. See how I did that? Okay. Then I'm going to take this, wrap it. There's like the tail part of your bow. And then I'm going to make my next loop. And these are pliable too. It's great because it's wire. Okay, so there's my next loop. Make sure you kind of eye it and, you know, make sure that it's all the same size, your loops. Kind of got mine off a little bit there. This one's wanting to go in a different direction on me. So there's your next loop. And it's just hanging out there. So I have to bring this other one around to fasten it. Okay? And it's great because these are so pliable and you can do whatever you want. And you can mix your pipe cleaner colors. So there's your other ribbon. And then you'd cut it to make your tails even. Okay? And it's really pretty when you put like twine bows in between those as well. It just kind of gives it that rustic look against that sparkle look. So there is how you make a pipe cleaner bow. Fun, fun. Okay, so I hope that gives you all some bow making ideas, not only for Christmas, but for any season as well. And I am really hoping that I can get the next video up to show you how to make those bow embellishments for your clothing. And not only for Christmas, but for even Valentine's. I think it would be super fun as well. So, I'm hoping to get that on there. I hope that you all enjoyed this today and that it has inspired you to make bows for the holiday season and beyond. So, I love bow making. And hopefully, this was a new little trick I taught you today with the pipe cleaners. I am obsessed with pipe cleaners, and I love using them for anything and everything. So I hope this inspires you today, and I hope that you all are having such a wonderful and blessed time with your family at this time of year. This is such a magical time of year, and I love it. I love to savor every moment of Christmas. So I hope that you all have a Merry Christmas, and I'm hoping to get that next video up so that you all can see it. So stay tuned for that. I hope you all enjoyed tonight. Happy bow making, happy decorating, happy crafting. Thanks, guys.